Hello, and welcome back to Cape Corner, where we explore the history, story, and cultural impact of a different character or group every episode. I'm Blue,
And I'm Jordan.
and we can apparently predict the future.
Oh yeah,
Um,
because last week we talked about the super pets, and the day after we released the episode, they formally announced that there's actually going to be a movie.
Now, I would like to mention, I had no clue that was happening. Like, have you heard any news about a
Well,
Super Pets movie?
yeah, I think at some point last week I offhanded mention, oh yeah, and by the way, I heard some obscure rumor like 5 years
Oh,
ago about an animated Super Pets movie, but I haven't heard anything in a few years, so I assume it's not happening. And then the
right.
next day,
You did say that. Man, that's, you know what that is, my friend? That is Providence.
that is
Our
well, what it means is Warner Bros has somebody listening to this show, and to whoever that is, thanks for being here.
they
'Cause
made they made the model of that animated dog real fast.
the,
I do it like overnight.
and hired a cast really quickly.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson is going to voice Crypto the Super Dog, which means that he now is going to be both Black Adam and also a dog.
The man's unstoppable. And he's Super Dog, who we thoroughly clarified is much more dangerous than Superman.
He is a terrifying force, for sure. Like Omni-Man, Homelander, they ain't shit compared to the Super Dog. Uh, so, also Kevin Hart as Ace the Bat Hound. Not with that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a fandom optimist. Hashtag fandom optimism. So I'm gonna choose that it's a good thing until I've seen it be bad. But
I mean, obviously, I'm gonna keep an open mind, but like my initial image of what Ace is and how he sounds is it doesn't super jive with Kevin Hart's usual thing. Uh, and look, if it was like he was an actor that regularly expressed range or even like occasionally expressed range, I'd be like, sure, I'm sure he can pull it off, but he's always just him, right? So
yeah, I was watching a Lego thing. Apologies to any listeners who came here expecting the history of Loki. We'll get to that in a moment.
we gotta talk first.
But I was watching one of those animated Lego specials that had Super Dog and Bat Dog in it. There's a scene where Batman says something and Bat Dog goes bark, like really menacing, and Batman I was like, that's how you do it. That's how you do Ace.
That was fantastic. Man, I really gotta watch those Lego Batman movies. Like I've heard.
They are adorable. I love them.
Yeah. I mean, I know like I really like Lego. Like the Lego Star Wars games got me into the Lego video. Like when I first heard like Lego video game, I was like, "Ooh, what is this shit?" And then it was like fantastic.
Yeah,
And like
I'm looking forward to the next one to come out eventually.
Lego Marvel Superheroes was a treat. I didn't get to play the Lego DC games. And no, guys, it's not because I'm a DC hater. It's just because at that point, like I couldn't rely on like mom to buy me video games. Like I was living on my own and having to work for everything, and you got to pick and choose video games at that point, and they were never at the top of my list. Um, but I'll get to them someday.
They're very good.
Very good. Yeah. All right. But yes, as you already spoiled, Jordan, uh, today we're going to be talking about the god of mischief himself, Loki. Um, and this isn't just because Loki episode 1 came out, it's a twofer because it's Pride Month. Welcome to our first LGBT character because Loki is gender fluid, and yes, he's confirmed gender fluid in the MCU as well. So suck my dick, all you bigots who are like, but he's not gender fluid in the MCU. Well, now he is. It
Is
said
Loki definitely the first LGBT character that Cape Corner has covered? I think so.
That I've covered that I don't know. Hang on, let me look at my list of episodes real quick.
It was
It's not
Superman, And the Fantastic Four, I don't think any of
Superman is
them.
gay sometimes.
Really?
Well, if he's exposed to pink kryptonite.
Oh, I forgot about that.
This is like by technicality.
By technicality, he qualifies.
Um, Blue Beetle, Fantastic Four, Spawn, Iron Fist, Turtles, Daredevil, Iron Man. Harley.
Oh, Harley. Yes.
She's a bi queen.
Okay.
But yeah. Well, okay. Harley was like the week before Pride Month, and Legion of Super Pets. I'm not doing that like two spirit joke or whatever. So or like Animalkin or whatever. So we'll say that Harley was like the first week, but it was just a week early.
Yeah.
Because I cheat, you see. So
much like Loki.
Yes. So
that
backstory of Loki.
Scamp.
How do I properly say the backstory of Loki? It's the backstory of a god. He okay, well, Odin in Asgard had a long-standing feud with the frost giants of Niflheim, I believe.
And Jotunheim. Is it different in the comics than it is in the movies, or is it always Jotunheim?
Wait, no, yeah, it is Jotunheim. See, I get confused because Niflheim has a very icy demeanor traditionally, but Jotunheim is all about the giants, and so it's like the frost giants. I get confused, right? So that's my fault. Yes, you're correct. It's Jotunheim. But yeah, regardless, the frost giants and the Asgardians have beef. A long time ago, Odin fought in a bloody war against the frost giants, and in the wreckage of the battle, he found Laufey, the frost giant king's son, little baby boy, in the rubble, and I guess he just like enchanted that baby to look like an Asgardian, and decided to raise Loki as his own. And then he raised him alongside Thor, and it was a big mistake because he was never going to give Loki the same amount of love that he gave his own natural born son. It was a very White Wolf, Black Panther kind of situation. And honestly, I don't blame Loki for being miffed because it's like Odin pretty much decided from the moment he adopted Loki that he would never be the king.
So is that all comics accurate?
I mean, for the most part, yes. Like, again, it depends on the like issues and everything. Because like,
right.
There's the universes, the eras, because retcons happen. Whether you're talking about the original story or the most modern interpretation of the story, like it's all very dependent. And with Marvel, for the most part, they 616, the main Earth, has a continuous timeline, unlike DC where they reboot. Like things happen to change the past and whatnot, but as far as entire universal reboots, Marvel doesn't really do that. Marvel doesn't have Crisis; they have Secrets.
Right.
This also brings up something I was thinking about the other day. Would beings like Thor and Loki consider their species, Asgardians, would they consider them humanoid, or would they consider humans Asgardinoid?
I guess it would be the second one.
Right. You would think. I've never heard them say that though. Like, I wish that more of these like fictional properties that deal with aliens that look exactly like humans would touch on the fact, like, isn't it weird that our alien species look exactly the same?
Yeah, it's odd. Like, why do Kryptonians look exactly like humans? None of it makes any sense.
There is a comic that I'm a big fan of. Fan made, I should say. It's like it was like a Tumblr thing where it was like Lois and Superman giving each other like bedroom eyes and flirty talk, and like he strips, and she's just like, "Oh my god, what is that?" And he's like, "It's my dick," and she's like, "Why does it have pincers?" And he's like, "To hold on to you better." And then there's just like a narrative like box that's like, and that was when they were both in fact reminded that Clark is an alien.
Oh my god.
It's like, yeah, something should be different.
Yeah, one would think.
Um, but yeah. So here's something you might not know. I didn't know it until recently. Loki did not first technically appear in quote unquote Marvel as Thor's brother. He didn't even appear around Thor in any form. Way back in 1949, when they were still Timely Comics, they had a series called Venus that dealt with just, I guess, the shenanigans of the Roman pantheon of gods. And the Roman pantheon, they're the Greek pantheon, but the Romans are dicks, and they just were like, ooh, just change their names so that they don't know we copied them. Or whoever copied who, I don't care. The point is, it's like Jupiter instead of Zeus, and Mars instead of Ares, and yada yada. But there's in Venus number 6, she is taken to the underworld, and she finds the king of the underworld, Loki, and Loki has a like magenta, I don't even know what you call it. Like it's like a full body suit, but it's got giant shoulder pads. But like the sleeves are like separate from the torso. Like the torso is big and huge and puffy, and it's got like these giant rings, and like the sleeves come out from the rings. And then there's like a blue cape. He's got a flat top of orange hair. He's got like the Luciferian face, like the classic devil, like the pointy ears and the pointy nose and the sharp teeth and like the and that's technically Marvel's first iteration of Loki.
That is wild.
Yep. But Loki proper, as we know him, appeared in 1962 in Journey into Mystery, which was a series that often featured Thor. But apparently he didn't appear until Journey into Mystery number 85. Jesus.
Wow.
Either way, he was reintroduced as Thor's sworn enemy / brother, and since then has gone on to be one of the most popular supervillains of fictional history. IGN, which, I have my opinions about IGN and their ratings of Too Much Water, but regardless, they ranked Loki in 2009 as the 8th greatest comic book villain of all time, and in 2014 was re-ranked as the 4th greatest comic book villain of all time.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because that was post-Avengers. So, speaking of, Loki was not just the inciting villain for the Avengers in the movie. He was, in fact, the inciting villain for the Avengers in the comics.
Really?
Yes. They did first come together to battle against Loki.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I like that. I like that the movie, sort of stuck true to that. Obviously changed a lot of the surrounding details, but, I believe it was a much more simple deal of just like they decided to gang up on Loki, pretty much. He definitely didn't have a massive alien army. Let's put it that way. But yes, Loki is often depicted as a guy, but because he is gender fluid, he's also been a hot lady plenty of times. Um,
Lady Loki.
yeah. First appeared as a woman from Lady Sif. Was there a Lady Sif run in the comics, like her own solo series?
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. See, okay, I gotta be honest. That's one thing that does bug me. I really don't like it when they specifically have a female villain just to counter a female hero. Like,
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, but they're girls. It's like, let's look, hot take, controversial take, possibly political take. We should stop the narrative that guys cannot hit women and allow me to explain. I am not pro domestic abuse.
I love that. This needs a very heavy disclaimer.
I'm putting a big bold asterisk beside what I just said. Please read. I am not pro domestic abuse. I am not pro anyone hitting or hurting anyone, without like decent reason. Doing physical harm to someone because like they talked back to you or you think they made you look bad in front of your dinner guests or whatever the case is bullshit. It's terrible. You deserve jail at least for that. But I'm going to put this out there. If we're going to acknowledge that women can be as powerful as men in whatever regards they so choose to devote themselves to, and they can, you need to recognize that when someone is instigating a fight with you, they are a fighter. First and foremost, who gives a shit what's between their legs? If someone comes at me with a knife and I'm like, I'm going to defend myself, and then I see that they got big old wobbling titties, and I go, oh, no, it's fine. I'm going to let this happen. Then I'm not chivalrous. I am a fool who deserves to be stabbed.
Yeah, and you're dead.
Exactly. And it's like
it always amuses me in various movies and shows, like like Infinity War did this, where it's like we've got to have all the female heroes team up against the female villain. That there's like that Thanos has that one female henchwoman.
Midnight.
Yeah.
Midnight Proxima.
Yes, I was trying to think of the name.
Proxima
Midnight, and they have all of it was Proxima Midnight. That was it. And all of the female heroes have to team up to fight her. It's like that's. I remember in the pitch meeting. Do you ever watch the pitch meeting videos? Those are pretty funny.
No.
Over at Screen Rant, the dude is like pretending that he's pitching the movie, and he says, then we're gonna have all the female heroes team up against the one female villain, and he goes, that's progressive, right? And he goes, I think so. Like no one's really sure what to do with that.
Man, like people were like, oh, it's so pandering in Endgame to have all of these girl heroes suddenly appear in the same shot together. And I'm like, it's way more pandering to have the girls only fight girl villains.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool when it's like, look at how many cool, powerful women we have.
Yeah.
But when it's like they've been sidelined to go fight the other woman, it's not as great.
Yeah, I really like it when they don't make a big deal of it. They treat it like okay, with Endgame, I give it a pass because it's like this movie is being hyped for everyone, and there are little girls who oftentimes will see a bunch of guys team up but never see a big girl team up, and it's like for this one moment, because this movie is doing the ultimate cool, it's the big culmination of 11 years of these movies, have a moment where all the girls are on screen minus Black Widow together. It's like, okay, cool, I'm fine with that. That is totally cool with me. But like typically I like it when they make it very natural, and they don't like they're like, we're doing a girl team. Like there was a bit in Young Justice, and
oh my god, I love the scene that you're talking about. I already know.
Young Justice, but this one actually got on my nerves a little bit. It's the bit where they're sending a team into Bialia. Bialia is ruled by Queen Bee. Has the power to enthrall men and I guess also lesbians. They some women, and it's like, say what you mean.
Yeah.
But
I actually really love this scene where then Nightwing like video calls all of these girls that he sent in, all the women members of the team that they're sending into Bialia, and he says, Queen Bee's got the ability to sway men, so that's why I'm sending a team of all women to do this. And I think it's Batgirl says, "Would you have felt the need to justify sending an all-male team?" And Nightwing just pauses for a moment. He goes, "There's no good answer to that, is there? So I'm just gonna hang up now."
and you know what?
I actually really like that scene.
That's the best possible answer he could give. But like, then they're also like after he hangs up, yeah, we got him. And it's like, no, you fucking didn't. Because guess what? For me, the answer is yes. If there was a villain who could enthrall all women and I got a team of all guys together, I'd be like, hey, just know I got this team together because none of you are women. Like, yes, I would justify it then too, because it's just like a natural way. Of course, I'm putting a team together of people who can't be mind controlled. Like, it just bugs me. They're like, oh, do you feel the need to justify it? Dude, if there was a team where it's like this villain can mind control everyone who doesn't have green in their names. It's like, when I get Green Arrow and Green Lantern and Green Beetle all together, and I'm like, the only ones I could form this team, so I'm counting on you. And they were like, oh, would you justify it if it wasn't like, if you could get Red Hood and Red Lantern and Red Rocket or whoever the fuck? And I'd be like, yes.
Yeah, I love that scene. I think it's great. And I get what they were going for there with, because for lack of better word, the standard would have been that, you don't really blink twice when you see the team of all male superheroes, but when you see the team of all women superheroes, you're like, wait, all girls, all women? And it's like, that is kind of a subconscious double take that you do just because it's not been the norm.
But also part of that is just because there's still a lot more guys superheroes. So like, if you pick a random grab bag, a lot of times you have a better chance of getting than you do of getting all women. And that is something that I would like to correct. But I just personally prefer it when they're not like, yeah, girls can do it too. Yeah, it's like when they're talking about like the strongest Avengers, they're like the top two candidates are Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch. And it's like, I like the fact that nobody's like, oh, is it because they're girls? It's like, it's because they're both Infinity Stones. What do you want? Like,
yeah, I get what they were going for in that Young Justice scene. I don't mind it at all.
I do. I understand it too. It's like, obviously just because of the way my personality is, it sounds like it is. I'm just saying I get like kind of miffed, but I'm an angry person, so it sounds louder.
You're naturally angry.
I'm very theatrical. Okay, it's kind of my thing.
I'm over here being fandom optimist, just kind of loving on everything.
I appreciate you. You keep me grounded with this series.
So yeah, I feel like there was someone we were supposed to be talking about in this episode, and I don't really remember who that was.
I wanted to mention a series that Loki was in that I found out about. So like, with the trailer for the Loki TV series, right? They show a bit where he's got like a little suit and a little he's got the like antlers in the suit and a little mayoral pin.
Yes.
I just found out that there is a series called Vote Loki.
Oh my god.
And it ran in 2016, and it was a satire about the 2016 presidential election, which we all know how that turned out. And so get this, the the story was that Loki was running for president. A Daily Bugle reporter named Nisa Contreras.
Okay.
Is her name supposed to be like contrarian? Like, oh, I'm gonna whatever. Anyway, so they were running against each other, and Loki's campaign was centered around the fact that he would have the guts to lie outright to the American people, as opposed to trying to be subtle about it like most politicians. So he's Trump, to the point where his like the tagline for the series is "Believe," but LIE and "believe" are capitalized.
That is amazing.
And it was really just Nisa trying to be like, guys, can you believe this bullshit? He's literally telling you that he will lie to your faces and you'll eat it up. Kind of like if somebody said that they could shoot someone on Main Street and get away with it, and then all of their followers were like, yeah, you thing you want.
That couldn't happen in our world.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm
That's
only
comic book logic.
Silly fictional stuff I'm talking about.
That's the kind of thing that only a comic book fictional presidential candidate could say.
I did a while back say, you remember when like mustache twirling supervillains were like on cartoons and not like the norm? Anyway, so at the end of it all, she gets into a debate with Loki, and he sort of outs himself at the fact that he doesn't actually have any plans for the American people. Like, he doesn't have any thoughts of how they should run the country or anything, and kind of like someone else. And so at the end, like, obviously he loses the election, and then like when she's alone, he like comes to her, and it's sort of left up to the reader about whether or not this is true, but he claims that he intended for this. Like, he didn't want to win. He outed himself as not having any idea of how to be president because he wanted her to win, because he was I guess it was a combination of like, I'm a villain, but a lot of times I, am against other villains, so I kind of would like to have somebody who will root out corruption. But also, it's one of those things that was like, hey, I did you a favor, now you can keep me in mind later. Okay, bye. Political favors. And like, there is the interpretation that it's just bullshit, and that he was saving face, and that he really was trying to win, but he was a big old political dummy. Because, and you know what, it would make sense, and I don't want anyone to be like, but he's a genius. Well, he's all so,
Yeah.
A democratic republic is kind of outside of his wheelhouse, or as close as America gets one. Anyway, so I thought that was a neat story. And again, whenever anyone's like, but superheroes aren't supposed to be political, they literally always are.
Yeah, superheroes just by nature are political. They're always created politically. There's always a message, which is true for like all of fandom and all of fiction, really. There's always a message.
Yeah, it's true. Like, even if it's very simple messaging, like you gotta, like, that's the point, right? Every story is a fable if you look deep enough.
I feel like over on my show, I will eventually have to do an entire episode about why everything is political, just to get it off my mind.
I actually have a Discord server I'm in right now where someone is trying to explain to other people, like, why video games are more political nowadays. And it's like, because it's an art medium. It's where people want, like,
yeah, because in the 80s, video games were get to the other side of the screen and beat the villain.
And that wasn't because that was
they've developed more intricate stories.
Well, it wasn't even just like a choice of narrative. It was a limitation of technology. You couldn't create narrative beyond Plumber Save Princess from Turtle. Like, that was as far as I could go. So, it's it's like, yeah, as things develop more, people are going to want to tell more intricate stories now that they're free to do so. And stories largely have ideas of people who create them behind them, like the way things should be, the way characters should handle certain situations, and the way that you should handle certain situations, either like these characters or better than those characters handled it, and so on and so forth. Um, but yeah, and just it's dumb. It's a dumb criticism. Um, I
I
want
I am really excited to see how we get to that image of Loki with the little political pin in the series. I'm so thrilled.
I okay. I want to talk about that series in just a minute, but first I wanted to make mention of something that I find to be a consistent aspect of Loki's character. Um, so Loki is an Asgardian. As such, he is you know beefy, right? Like if you saw in the first episode of Loki series, actually it lists his weight as like 549 pounds or something. And
Oh
I saw
yeah.
something, why does he weigh that much? And it's like, well, because he's an Asgardian. Their muscles are way more dense. That's why they all have like superhuman strength and durability. Like they can fall out of airplanes and then get back up and just be like, ow.
Yep.
um, but and he's got like illusion powers, and he's really good at like throwing knives and stuff. But ultimately, he has much higher aspirations than what he's equipped for, right? So one of the big aspects of Loki's character is he just loves stealing shit from other superpowered beings. um, I am looking at an image here of Loki as the Scarlet Witch. Um, like removing the little M crown thing that Wanda has, and putting on the little golden antlers that she's got. Um, here's a different image of Loki with the cloak of levitation and eye of Agamotto, which he just stole from Doctor Strange. Um, in the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon, he steals what's it called? It's Odin's spear.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. I do not know what
his
that's called.
name, Hrungnir, is that it? No,
I have no idea.
that's Beowulf's. Hang on. I
Clickety
swear I
clickety
know
click.
it. I can't remember it. Gungnir, that's it.
Okay.
I actually did know that, but I'm dumb and I can't remember things. Anyway, yeah, he stole Gungnir and the Odin Force, and like that's his thing. He loves he I would say he's almost like the Jackie Chan of Marvel villains, in that he will always use whatever he sees in his environment to empower himself. Um, Even in the first episode of the Loki series, he's like, "Man, they're really kicking my ass with this little time loop collar. It's time for me to apply this collar to someone else."
Mm-hmm.
Like that is easily like his go-to move, is just like, I'm gonna steal whatever they're trying to use against me and use it against them. And I'm for it. Like some people might be like, oh, it's underhanded. I just think that's smart strategizing. One of my favorite anime of all time is Gurren Lagann, and the the main strategy of Team Daiguren is steal from the enemy, then kick their ass with their own weapons. Communist steals the sword in episode 1. He steals Gurren in episode 2. They steal Daigunzan. They steal Super Galaxy Daiguren. They everything they have, they stole. And they make it work. Um, but yeah, I just that's an aspect of his character that I really enjoy. Is there any uh aspects of his character that maybe aren't talked about as much that you find very entertaining?
Hmm. Nothing I can think of. I really loved his role in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I thought he was very fun in that.
Yeah, definitely. Um, well, I suppose now is as good a time as any to talk about the Loki series then.
So I guess
So
we'll drop a big ol' spoiler warning.
yes. Also a big speculation warning. As Brian David Gilbert, the angel placed on this earth, would say, potential spoiler warning in case we happen to get anything right. Um,
There is some small chance that I get all of this right because this is this is not saying much. But back when Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, like right after that, I sent out I sent to a friend a bunch of messages about how I thought Endgame was going to go. And I got like more than half of it right. It was really weird.
dang. Well, I think that Endgame wasn't really shocking in what it did. It was just the watching the execution of it was great.
Yeah.
Um, I am a little bit sad that one of the most popular speculations of that movie never came to pass. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's the Ant-Man thing.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would have been fun.
For those of you who may not be aware, there was a
The
joke.
Thanos theory,
Yeah,
as it is
the famous
described.
theory. The joke that Thanos would be defeated by Ant-Man shrinking real small, crawling up inside Thanos' butthole, and then expanding to explode him from the inside out. And it's always the butthole. They're never like he crawls into his mouth or ear or something.
Yep.
Just because it's funnier that way. But all right. So the Loki series. 2012 Loki, the one who just lost in the Avengers, has not gone through the character development of Thor: The Dark World, Thor: Ragnarok, Infinity War. I almost said Endgame, but yeah, just Infinity War. Um, he he has not experienced all that, but all of a sudden, future Tony Stark screws up, drops the Tesseract because he doesn't know to be on the lookout for Hulk barging through a door, even though apparently he already lived this, so he should have like I know it was like 11 years ago from his perspective, but like I would be racking my brain like where is the Hulk at this point?
Yeah, really.
um
That seems like something you'd want to keep in mind.
yeah, you might not want to cross his path. But anyway, Hulk opens the door, smacks future Tony in the face. Loki's like, "What is happening?" Oh, Tesseract, and then he escapes, uh, and then immediately gets beset upon by the Time Variance Authority, um, which it took me a little bit to realize. All of the employees of the Time Variance Authority are created. They're not like recruited.
Yeah.
They're like constructs essentially, which is weird. But the lore that they give, narrated by Tara Strong doing a country accent,
Yep.
um, is
Love
that
Tara Strong.
we do love Tara Strong. Um, is that there was a multiversal war, and the timekeepers eventually came together and decided that in order to stave off war, they would merge all of these different timelines into a single sacred timeline. And now, anytime variations occur to branch off into other timelines, they send the TVA out to just murder everyone in that timeline and delete it and keep it pruned to just a single timeline, a tree with no branches. Um, and she is very specific to say if the Time Variance Authority is ever unable to do their job, it could create madness and an entirely new multiverse.
What an odd wording.
Wink, wink. So
How very specific.
I might have a feeling how this series might end.
Just a small inkling of an idea.
The first episode was fantastic. Loki cried. Dude, that blew my mind.
Loki cried. It hurt me.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, baby boy.
Oh, no. It's okay, Loki.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right, man. We'll get through it. Yeah, he kind of did go through all the development that he missed just by like watching it vicariously through his alternate future self.
Yeah.
The bit where like he fast forwards to Ragnarok and he sees Odin say, "I love you, my sons," and he sees himself sitting there and he just immediately starts crying. I'm like, oh my.
It hurt.
Yeah. And then immediately okay, I gotta talk about this. Okay, so Owen Wilson is fantastic. Wow. I was not expecting to like Owen Wilson because I'm not the biggest Owen Wilson. I think he's funny, but often it's because he's a meme, not because he's a hilarious comedian, I think.
Yeah, I've seen him in a few things that I really liked. So I've always found him very likable in things, but he's never been one of my all-time favorites or anything.
Let me put it this way: yes to Zoolander, no to Wedding Crashers. That's
I
how
love him in Night at the Museum. Night at the Museum is my favorite role for him, I think. I just really love him in that.
Can I admit to a dark secret of mine?
Oh, absolutely.
I've never watched Night at the Museum.
You have to watch Night at the Museum.
Yeah, see, because this is why I keep it a secret, because everyone says that when I say that.
It's such a great little movie. It's uplifting. It's pleasant.
Wait.
I just really like it.
Wait, so Owen Wilson is in that movie?
Yeah.
So
you get like the premise, right? You know, like the premise of
the exhibits come to life at night. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays like a miniature of a cowboy in one of the like model display exhibits. So he's
right.
like a little tiny cowboy. It's really funny.
I remember thinking like they're just doing Indian in the Cupboard, but in an entire museum.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know Indian in the Cupboard, I hate you, because like, okay, back when we had VHS tapes, we would have these plastic cases at the
back
VHS
in my day.
Back in the old days, we had these plastic cases that the VHS tapes came in, right? The one for Indian in the Cupboard, okay, because they had plastic coverings and like there was a paper inside that was like the cover. It wasn't just printed on plastic. For Indian in the Cupboard, you could pull the paper out, flip it around, and put it back in, and the reverse side had like a wood pattern, so it looked like the cupboard. And the side of the VHS tape, where normally you just sort of pop it open, there was a little keyhole, and along with the VHS tape, it came with a little plastic key, so you could like, and it also came with a figurine of whatever his name was, the little Native American guy. Mm-hmm. So you could like put him in the VHS case and like turn the key and everything and pretend that you were doing the Indian in the Cupboard with him.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that. It's very creative. Not a lot of VHS tapes did that. The most different kind of thing that I would see for VHS tapes other than that was Nickelodeon did orange cases.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, that was about it. But anyway, big tangent.
Anyway, you should watch Night at the Museum. No, Wilson is great.
I'll get to it. God. Owen Wilson is actually fantastic in this. He has great.
This is the best I've ever seen him.
It's fantastic. The way that he's like, he is dismantling Loki. Just a bit where he's like, Ah, I love it. Big metaphor guy. It makes you sound super smart. And he's like, I am smart. He's like, I know.
Okay, so did you interpret that line as being, because I've heard it interpreted both ways. I think a lot of people are interpreting it as like, yeah, sure you are. Like I know that's what you think of yourself, but I interpret it as like almost like he kind of cares about him and is like, yeah, I know you're smart, Loki. I know, you
Well,
know.
it's both, right? Because
Yeah,
looking at it from his perspective, now knowing what we know at the end of the episode, he both looks down on Loki to a certain extent, but also has a begrudging respect for him, uh, because of the Loki that he knows.
yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Catch Me If You Can from 2003?
I'm aware of it. My dad told me about it.
So it is a, for those who don't know, this is fun. This is just going to turn into a repeat of everything I said yesterday on my other show. But Catch Me If You Can is a movie based on a true story about Frank William Abagnale, the most notorious con man in American history. And he's like a super genius who ran away from home at 16 and over the next 3 years cashed like several $1 million in fraudulent checks and lived for reasonable amounts of time disguised as an airline pilot, a doctor, a lawyer, just kind of breezing through life, just pretending to be in these professions and getting away with it and convincing people, and actually doing the jobs, kind of. And he cashed millions in fraudulent checks and was chased across the world by the FBI, and they finally caught him before his 19th birthday. And it's just
19?
it's insane.
I thought he was older than that.
It is based on a true story. It's absolutely insane. But what's really cool is that the director of Loki said that the dynamic that he wanted between Owen Wilson's character and Loki was inspired by the dynamic between the FBI agent and Frank William Abagnale in that movie. And I think that's pretty cool. And it's pretty accurate. In Catch Me If You Can, there's this kind of vaguely caring and maybe almost parental vibe from the FBI agent because he winds up really caring about this kid, but also he has to catch him, and this is a super epic criminal who's outsmarting everyone all the time. So there's the antagonistic vibe, and I'm loving that I can actually see those aspects in the Owen Wilson and Loki relationship. It's really cool.
Yeah. Before I get back to what I was saying with Owen Wilson, I'll bounce off that and say, speaking of real life stories, the fact that he was DB Cooper.
Oh my god. I can't believe you were DB Cooper.
He's like, I was young and I lost a bet. And I'm like, look, you weren't that young. That was only like 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Aren't you like 800 or something?
Yeah, that's a mild continuity flaw. Well, you know, I really wish that we had gotten the wow right there.
Wow.
I can't believe you were DB Cooper. Wow.
Wow.
I'd have loved to hear it there.
Yeah. But anyway, so when Owen Wilson is sort of trying to pick at Loki's brain to understand how he works, he's also got this like aggression behind him where he is antagonizing Loki. And again, spoilers for the series. You know, if you haven't watched episode 1, stop listening, go watch it, or keep listening. I don't care. Live your life.
It's not my job.
I'm not your dad. Loki, a variant of Loki is apparently the one killing all the members of the Time Variance Authority. So the entire reason why he's trying to work with this Loki is to gain a better understanding of his enemy. And so even though he admires Loki to some degree because it's like, wow, I can't believe you were able to outmaneuver. Again, it's that catch me if you can thing. Like you're just a kid outmaneuvering the FBI. You're just a demigod outmaneuvering the strongest cosmic force in the universe.
Yeah,
like,
a cosmic force to which the Infinity Stones are paperweights.
I've seen a lot of people get upset about that, and it's like, dude, we're beyond the Infinity Saga. Like,
I
stakes.
always see people getting upset about stuff that I think is ridiculous because I try to keep my fandom optimism. So
It's like it makes sense. The Infinity Stones are powerful because they are the origins of the universe that they reside in. If they are no longer within the universe, they are not powerful because they only have power over their respective universe.
right, and it's like, where do we go to raise the stakes on a character who can erase half of the universe? You go to an organization that deals with every potential universe.
Exactly. So it's like we, because we exist outside of the universe proper, those stones do not have power. Like even if you brought all of those stones to the universe, they are technically from alternate iterations of the universe. They will
Right,
not
the
work.
timelines they are from no longer exist.
Yeah, the only reason that the Infinity Stones worked in Endgame is because they closed those loops. They did not create branch timelines. They were just small little nudges, like little bumps. They were like little bumps on the tree trunk that did not form into branches, right? Um, and so the timekeepers are like, it's a closed loop. It's fine. We don't got to deal with it.
It's also comic book writing 101. That how do you get people invested in the next thing? You say, oh, you remember that like epic universe ending thing that we just went through? That's irrelevant compared to what's coming next.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, man, how do we hype up the first Secret Wars? Well, Galactus ain't shit compared to the Beyonder. That's how you do
Mm-hmm.
it. Um, but anyway, so while Owen Wilson, I'm sorry, Agent Mobius, but I'm just going to keep calling him Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Uh, wow. Uh, while he's antagonizing Loki, Loki gets mad. He's like, I know what this place is. It's an illusion, an elaborate ruse created by the weak to inspire fear, a desperate bid for power and control. And like he's saying that, to the Time Variance Authority. And then the rest of the episode happens. He sees, um, Odin he sees his own actions kill his mom. He sees Odin admitting that he loves both of them. He sees himself teaming up with Thor and Thor forgiving him. He sees himself dying to protect Thor. And then he has a little fight, which sort of interrupts things. And then he takes some of his aggression out by looping the shit out of this woman. Um, and then, like, when Owen Wilson comes back, um, a question that Owen Wilson had asked earlier was, do you enjoy hurting people? And Loki finally, introspects a little bit and he says, I don't enjoy hurting people. I do it because I have to, because I've had to. And Owen Wilson is like, why? And then Loki drops the bomb. It's part of the illusion. It is a ploy used by the weak. And then he gestures to himself to inspire fear. And then Owen Wilson has this like realization. He's like, a desperate bid for control. And
Chilling.
it like it made me love the character of Loki all over again. Oh my god, it was so good. Like the some people might think it's a little bit fast, but he's been really shell shocked in these 40 minutes and
Oh my god.
had
This place has
everything
him rattled.
everything that he knows is wrong, like a Weird Al Yankovic song.
Yeah,
And
and I mean him finding that drawer of Infinity Stones. I love that he can't process. He's like, what? How? Where did you get these? His brain blows a fuse in that moment.
I love that he actually like steps away for a minute, looks around, and is like, "Is this the greatest power in the universe?" In awe, and it's just a bureaucracy from
Yeah,
from
really.
the '70s pseudo future. It's like Cave Johnson from Aperture Science, and
Oh yeah.
it's like if he created the TVA. Like everything is Like the cartoons have the Jetsons aesthetic, and everything's got little lights and diodes. Uh, everything's like brown, like everything was in the 70s.
Yeah, I got this is kind of off topic, but I got heavy Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade vibes from when they the obnoxious rich kid who has somehow become a time variant like refuses to
Golden.
give them a ticket. He refused to take a ticket, and then they vaporize him, and then Loki's like scrambling to find his ticket, and I was like, someone's a Last Crusade fan behind the production of this show.
Are you ready for another dark secret?
You've never seen it?
I've never watched any of the Indiana Jones.
Okay, so for you and anyone else who doesn't know, there is a scene in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade where Indiana Jones and his father are fleeing Berlin. This takes place in 1939, I think.
Okay.
We are into World War II here, and it was full blown Nazism, and they are fleeing Berlin, and they are on board a Zeppelin, and we see that there are German officers boarding, looking for them, and looking, checking everyone on board, make sure that see if they can find them. And Indiana Jones walks off, and we see him find, I don't know if it's supposed to be the captain or someone in uniform on board the Zeppelin. He beats him up and takes his uniform, and the German officer gets to Indiana Jones's dad, and pulls away the newspaper that he's trying to hide behind. And it's like, oh no, the German officers have found them. And then Indiana Jones walks up behind the German officer and says, "Ticket, please." And then the guy turns around, and Indy punches him in the face and throws him out the window of the Zeppelin. And all of the passengers look horrified at what's just happened. And he kind of looks around and goes, "He didn't have a ticket." And everyone scrambles to get their tickets out and show it to him. It just really, I was like, that has to be the scene that inspired this.
You know what? I can see it now. I've seen a few things of Indiana Jones through clips. I've seen the face melting bit. I've seen what's his name, Kung Pao or whatever, the really racist Chinese kid.
Short Round. Oh, I love him.
Yeah. Jones. And I've seen the bit where the dude comes out with the swords and he's looking, and he just shoots him.
Yeah, fun fact, this is getting so off topic now, but I have to give this fun fact. The story behind that is that there was supposed to be some insanely well choreographed fight there, and Harrison Ford was just really sick that day, and he walks up to Spielberg and he's like, "Can we just shoot this fucker?" And Spielberg was like, "Actually, I love that. Let's put it in." So there's your fun fact in movie history for today.
Harrison Ford making a career off of being a tired old man. The reason that Han Solo holds the gun the way he does is because Harrison Ford's back or whatever.
Yeah. Harrison.
Everything that people are like, he's so cool. He's just like, I hate this shit.
He's a grumpy old man. He hates being there.
And people just misinterpret it fabulously. Anyway. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was about to say that vaporizing the rich kid, firstly, that was really funny. That he walks in going, my dad's the CEO of Goldman Sachs, and get you fired or whatever he's saying. And that they vaporize him. Now, them vaporizing him woke me up to the interesting ethical dilemma of this show. And I was wondering if this is how you're interpreting it. That because when they first put down the little reset charge at the beginning of the episode, I thought, oh, this is just going to kind of rewind this area a little bit. It's going to fix the sand and maybe erase these people's memory who just saw Loki where he wasn't supposed to be.
I promise
that's what I thought at first.
Deleting them.
Yes, that at first I thought it was harmless. And then when I saw both that they vaporized the rich kid, which means You have no way to put him back where he was supposed to be and like wipe his memory and put him on the correct timeline. And
Mhm.
also that Owen Wilson looked really sad when he tells the little girl in the church, "Go wait outside." Um, that
Yeah.
they are deleting universes
Yeah.
with these these reset charges, and that is
Which
these are time fascists. This is an epic ethical dilemma.
which is why Loki, or eviler, I guess, Loki, having at least two of these charges that we know of
Is
is
really
terrifying.
scary.
Yeah. Um.
And
Oh,
I think they
I
imply that it's like he's got like 6 or 7 of them by now because they said that this is the 6th attack that we know of, and
yeah,
and they're not surprised that the charge is missing. So I think he does it every time.
yeah. Like, why is he collecting so many? That's terrifying.
But see, now that we've addressed that ethical dilemma, the question becomes: is this quote unquote eviler Loki even evil at all?
Is it even Loki?
These Is it even Loki? And are these time fascists? And should they be destroyed?
Well, again, because of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I'm getting a hint that they will be destroyed regardless, or
Yeah,
at least empowered.
that's the big speculation we've got here.
Um, I can't look. Okay, for people who hate raging fan theories and comic book nerds going, "Oh my god," a lot. I
It's
want you
definitely
all.
Mephisto.
God damn it, man! You knew what I was gonna say. I hate you for that. I hate you. I hate it here. What I was gonna say is be grateful that I was not making this show when WandaVision was running.
Okay, when I saw the little girl point to like the stained glass of the devil, I was like,
Ah, Mephisto.
no, I actually was just like, God damn it! All those WandaVision people were right. It is Mephisto.
I need this, man. I need them to give me this, okay? They cucked me in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. by not having Mephisto there with the Ghost Rider season, and they cucked me in WandaVision by not having Mephisto there as like Agnes's partner, as Ralph or whatever. And I don't want them to cut me again in this show now that they opened episode 1 with the devil portrait. And I get it.
I'm betting they still
Antlers.
will.
I get Loki has the antlers and it's like, haha, devil horns, but it's like, okay, but he doesn't have red skin. So, like, little girl, what are you pointing at?
I'm betting that it's not Mephisto, and that this is just she saw a dude with a big horned head, and he was very showy and had magic, and she's like that. Well, that must be the devil. I don't have any other frame of reference for what this thing is in 1549. So I assume that it really is, but your saving grace is in the fact that they did not show us Loki. That right after we have it confirmed that this is Loki, Owen Wilson is like, yeah, we're chasing another Loki. And they don't show us. Why don't you show us right after you specifically name the person who's supposedly under that hood?
Okay,
There's no
you know
reason to
what
keep
would be
them
great?
hidden.
Okay, if it's not Mephisto, which would make me very happy, I will tell you what I would prefer second. Um, you know that they're cool with doing like doubles, like they had Captain America fight Captain America. Um, and so like that precedent is already set. Like, yeah, we can have two of the same guy in the same scene. It's fine. But they confirmed that Loki is fluid
Mm-hmm.
and an actress playing female Loki.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
I'm just saying, it would be cool.
I would like that a lot.
I am actually pretty sure that that's the case.
Because like
I
I
will
don't
be
want them to just be
surprised
like
if that isn't Lady Loki.
I don't want them to just be like, yeah, Loki's fluid, and then never have anyone but Tom Hiddleston, because then it's like, well, then it's like the Dumbledore is gay thing. It's like, well, nothing ever implied that he was, so why even say it?
I
So
will actually be very surprised if that isn't Lady Loki.
yeah, um, But okay, there was something else I was. Oh, I also know that unlike certain other companies, Marvel really does like pay attention to the fan speculation and everything. And I get the feeling like they maybe even did that devil thing just to fuck with people. But like uh you know what would be great is if like after everything that happened with WandaVision and the Mephisto speculation resurging now and everything, if Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness did actually, because it has Doctor Strange and it has Wanda and it's coming right off the back of Loki. If it had Mephisto in there,
That would be pretty cool.
that would validate me in a way like that nothing else in life has. Parents.
Oh
Sorry.
no.
um, but okay, so we've spoken about Marvel's Loki. Uh, I have also said that this podcast will occasionally touch on video games and stuff. So I would like to take a moment, give a new spoiler warning. Anyone who is still here and has not played the new God of War game from a few years back.
Hang on, right before we go to this, I've got one more question for you about the series of Loki.
Oh,
Because
cool.
this is another interesting ethical dilemma that I thought of.
All right.
I've seen people argue that this show cheapens everything that came before it because it implies that free will doesn't exist and that no one actually made any of these heroic decisions of their own volition. It was all predetermined for them.
No,
Yeah,
they're dumb.
I
Look,
completely agree.
here's the thing about predeterminism is that even if these timekeepers are picking which variations of things should be canon in the sacred timeline, these only can be possible through characters still making choices of their own volition without uh without any like direct intervention from any cosmic beings, right? Like
Right.
you this is how you argue it. You can do like the nihilist thing like Owlman does of like, well, for every version of me that makes this decision, there's a version in the multiverse that makes the opposite decision. So does anything I do nothing matter? No, you stupid idiot. What you do still matters for your life and your world. So
Yep.
you've got another version that did the other thing. So what? In this, they prune away all of the versions of you that make alternate choices, sure, but that doesn't mean they made your choices for you. You are just the version that made the right choices, quote unquote.
Right. Yeah,
You
and that's my big argument had been that the very fact that there are time variants is proof that free will exists. That
yeah,
people are apparently constantly making the wrong quote unquote choice and accidentally winding up off of the intended timeline.
and like, so what if the timekeepers are like, this is what we want to happen? Guess what? Tony Stark making Ultron and then like almost destroying the world was still a mistake.
Yep.
Slice it however you want, dude. That was fucked up.
Yep. So anyway, I
So
just
yeah,
wanted to touch on
still
the
matters.
concept of free will before we bow out of Loki series.
And before anyone thinks that I'm being too cavalier and not taking it seriously, I had an extremely difficult time dealing with nihilism from an early age because I'm not trying to like brag or anything. I'm literally a genius, and one of the things that they don't tell you about like childhood prodigious genius is that when you're more aware of things at a faster speed, you're more aware of how life sucks at a faster speed. And
Yep.
also you're aware of concepts, again, like multiverse and nihilism. So from an early age, I became plagued with, feelings of like nothing matters, everything's so insignificant. And it took me decades to work through that completely. So I'm at a point where I've completely worked through it, and B, I'm tired of dealing with it. So yeah, whenever I see people be like, but then doesn't it mean that nothing matters? No, shut up. What you do is you focus on little things. You can be like, on a cosmic scale, nothing I do will have any significance, because even if I'm remembered in a history book, that history book will age and wither into dust, and humanity will eventually vanish. And even if I make a cosmic impact, the heat death of the universe, so what? You know what matters? If you kick a little girl and a little girl cries, you feel bad and you're an asshole because you made that little girl cry.
Unless you
Little
are an
things,
asshole and you don't feel bad, then you're just worse.
but that still matters, because then we need to fucking deal with you. You can't go around kicking little girls and shit. Like, what I'm saying is, people's feelings still matter. It doesn't matter if they don't matter on a cosmic scale. We're not operating on a cosmic scale. We are operating on a very small individual scale. Focus on that.
Anyway, yeah, that was my little ethical dilemma to touch on. Yeah, I agree that this show does nothing to imply that free will doesn't exist. It's pretty clear that it does.
Yeah, obviously, what Loki's going through is a crisis of faith. That doesn't mean that the crisis
They
is
have him so
correct.
rattled that he briefly considers the possibility that he might be a robot and not know it.
That was early.
That's like not the craziest thing that he can think of right now.
Yeah, for real. Okay, but I did want to talk about another interpretation in God of War. So, in God of War, the 2018 game, have you played it?
I have not, but I've not played any of them and don't really know anything about it.
I'll give you a quick synopsis. It's very simple, as long as I'm not doing like the YouTube video thing. Okay, so for the initial God of War games, here's the lowdown. There is a Spartan warrior named Kratos. Kratos, like many Spartans, is fearful, or not fearful, feared warrior on the battlefield. And in one particular battle, he was fighting against this massive berserker, and he was getting the better of him. So Kratos called out to the god of war, Ares, saying, grant me power and I shall serve you. And Ares accepted that. He took these red hot iron chains and wrapped them around Kratos' arms, scarring his arms with chain marks and essentially burning these chains to his arms. And at the ends of the chains were blades, the blades of chaos, or something. There's a couple different blades. Anyway, but these blades he can like throw out like how Scorpion does with his spear, his Kusari or whatever, and he can just like swing them around in big arcs and like spin and like just decapitate people. And he uses these weapons to beat the berserker, and he becomes beholden to Ares. But because Kratos has a wife and a daughter, Ares is like, you're not my perfect warrior because you still have love in your heart. So he tricks Kratos into sacking a village that Kratos wasn't aware that his wife and daughter were in at the time, and he burns everything to the ground. And only when his family is already dead does he realize that he burned his own family. And because he's so slicked with blood, their ashes like float through the breeze and coat his body, so he becomes pale from their ashes covering and sticking to his body. So he becomes nicknamed the Ghost of Sparta. And he goes on a crusade to kill Ares. He manages to succeed in killing Ares, but becomes wrapped up in an entire plot where, like, part of the way he killed Ares was by opening Pandora's box to gain the power from inside the box to become strong enough to kill Ares. Okay? The evils from Pandora's box infected Zeus and the other gods of Olympus, and because they chose Kratos as their enemy, he wound up going on a massive slaughtering spree, essentially killing the entire pantheon of Olympus. And at the end, Pandora herself reveals that the reason Kratos didn't turn evil, even though he was kind of a raging lunatic, is because the power that was granted to him from the box was not from the evils of humanity within the box. It was the hope that was hidden at the very bottom. Because in the story of Pandora's box, the last thing she put in the box was hope. Or that came out of the box, or whatever. The point is, so he manages to kill Zeus. It is revealed that Zeus is in fact Kratos' father. Kratos was a demigod from birth, kind of like Hercules. Hercules and him are half brothers. And so his legacy is one of extreme gore and hyper violence and hyper masculinity and fucking people and mini games, to gradually increasing extremes. In the first God of War game, he's banging one woman off screen. In God of War 2, I think he bangs two women still off screen. And in God of War 3, Aphrodite is in there with two other women, and he bangs the goddess of love and beauty herself, and the two other women who have their titties out are like watching, like, ooh, yeah. And it shows those two, and then they like start making out by the time you finish the video, the minigame. So it's like it's very mindless. It's there just to be cool. But then 2018 actually took that mindless brutality and made it into a plot point, and a fantastic plot point. We are now in Midgard, and Kratos is an older man now. He has a child named Atreus, and Atreus's mother, Kratos' wife, recently passed away. She had a dying wish that her ashes be scattered atop the tallest mountain. And Kratos is not convinced Atreus is ready to take this journey, but Faye, the mother, asked for specific trees to be cut down for her funeral pyre. And these trees actually were the ones that made like a circle of protection around their area of the woods. So now that monsters are freely getting in, Kratos has no choice but to take his son, which was part of Faye's plan to get them to bond. Because Kratos is very distant. He's still pretty messed up from all the shit that he went through in the first games, and he's trying to learn to control himself. He reveled in rage and battle and bloodshed, but now like there's actually a bit where Atreus starts to go berserk, and he scolds Atreus, saying anger can give us great power, but if you lose yourself to it, you are no better than the beasts that you fight. You have to be a man, and to be a man means controlling yourself, using that rage to empower you without losing yourself to it. And it's fantastic knowing the kind of man he used to be. He winds up like having some shame when he has to later on admit to Atreus that like he killed his own father, and that Zeus himself had to kill his own father. And so Atreus worries, like, is that just the cycle of our family, that sons always have to kill their fathers? Because he doesn't want to fight his own dad. It's a very fantastic story. They get to the tallest mountain, they think, and then they realize, wait, but in the Nine Realms, this isn't the tallest mountain. The tallest mountain is in Jotunheim. And so they have to travel to the realm of the giants. Like the entire game is just trying to get there. At the very end of the game, they manage to finally make it to Jotunheim, and they see murals that depict the story that they went through in this game. So they were foretelling the future. They knew all this would happen. And Faye, as it turns out, was a giant. She was not only a giant, she was Laufey. And Atreus has another name that she didn't tell him. He is, in fact, Loki.
That's pretty cool.
It is so fucking cool. It caught me off guard because, like, throughout the entire game, I'm like, they are showing Jorgenmonder, they're showing Freya, they're showing Thor's sons, Modi and Magni. And I'm like, they're referencing Odin and Thor and like all, but like I didn't see anything about Loki. I'm like, why isn't Loki in this game? Where is Loki? Loki was beside you the entire time. So this game is a Loki origin story.
That's really cool.
It is super cool. Also, it opens up a future of a massive God of War franchise because there's a bit where they go into a treasure room that Odin had where he put all of his junk, and like they find a Spartan vase, like a Greek vase that has a depiction of Kratos as he used to be on it. So it's like, oh, they're aware that there was another pantheon of gods, but then it also shows like Shinto and Egyptian items, and it's like they're saying that all of these different mythologies, all of these different pantheons exist, and that means Kratos has more gods to kill.
That is awesome.
I'm so down for the future of this franchise. But yes, fun fact: you get to the end of the game, you watch the credits. There is an after credits scene where it's like a couple of years after the events of that game. Atreus and Kratos are at home, and it just starts storming outside, and they step out to see what's going on, and it just shows like someone's legs, and then they move their arm, and you see a hammer dangling from their side.
Oh Lord.
It's like, oh, it's gonna be Thor. Oh, it's rad. The main villain of the game was actually Balder the Brave, who did not appear in the MCU, but kind of like the Warriors 3 and Lady Sif, he's an Asgardian that's very close to Thor in Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah, his entire thing is that he's invulnerable. Think of like how Achilles was invulnerable everywhere but his heel. Or Samson is invulnerable when he has long hair. Balder's thing is that he's invulnerable to everything but mistletoe. That's real. I didn't make that up.
That. Oh my God.
Well, it's funny because like throughout in the game, there's a bit where one of the dwarves that upgrade your equipment, like the weapon shop guys, Atreus uses a bow and arrow. Typically, they give him special mistletoe arrows, and he's like, "Okay, what's different about these than other arrows?" They're like, "Well, it's got mistletoe on them." He's like, "Yeah, what does that do?" And they're like, "I don't know, it's like magical properties and stuff." He's like, "Sure, it is." And there's a bit later on where like during a fight, his bow strap breaks, and Kratos like reties it with one of the mistletoe arrows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like they're talking to Freya later. Freya, by the way, is the mother of Balder, and she doesn't reveal this to them at the time, but she's just like, "Why do you have those arrows? Get rid of them!" And she just chucks his mistletoe arrows in the fire. And so like in the climactic battle with Balder, when it's finally revealed, like, "Oh yeah, his weakness is mistletoe," and they're just like, "God damn it, Freya destroyed all those mistletoe arrows, so we can't stop him." Atreus manages to like rip off the part of the mistletoe that was tying his bow strap together and just like wraps it around his knife and stabs Balder with it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like it was a Chekhov's gun and we didn't know it the whole time.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I love that. That's really good writing. That entire game is fantastic. I highly recommend. Even if you didn't play any of the other God of War games, please, I super encourage you, play God of War 2018. Watch, like, I mean, I pretty much told you what you really need to know about the old games. But if you want to, watch one of those, like, 30-minute YouTube videos that's, like, the story up until God of War 2018.
Yeah, I may have to.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
It's legitimately, like, I know that everyone was sucking the dick of this game, and I don't always believe that kind of hype, but it was warranted this time.
Nice.
Also, the guy who made the game, his name is strikingly similar to the Balrog from Lord of the Rings. his name is Corey Barlog.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, that really doesn't mean anything, but I think it's neat. Um, all right. So, is there any other things that you wanted to say about Loki of any interpretation before we close this out?
That mischievous scamp. No, I got nothing.
I think we talked about a good bit here today. Um, I guess the message of this episode would be: don't let thoughts of nihilism prevent you from doing what's right. It's easy to feel like nothing that you do matters. I think we all feel that at some point. Um, Given enough, understanding of the way life works, it's easy to feel insignificant, but just remember that no matter how small it is, our feelings in the present do matter. Things don't matter. It's like what Vision says in Age of Ultron. Something isn't beautiful because it lasts. Something doesn't matter because it lasts forever. Uh, Even if things are momentary, they still matter. Your pain, your happiness, it all matters. So, we've all got a ticking time limit on our lives. We all know this, but that's not a reason to not live your life while you have it and to not try and do good for others while you're here.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. All right. So feel free to join the Discord, where we have polls for upcoming episodes, memes. We can get into like really deep talks like we just had if you want. Like it's a nice community, very supportive people.
Yeah, come talk about philosophy with us. It'll be fun.
Yeah. I want to know whether or not you think Freud or oh no, the other guy. The shit, I can't remember his name. Jung.
I'm not sure.
I want to know whether you think Freud or Jung is the superior philosophy.
Yeah, do you think free will exists? Does it matter?
Yeah. Let's get weird with it. Like let's really deep dive into the gray matter. Other than that, feel free to support me. Nobody does, but that's okay. Even if you just listen, I'm pulling that mom thing where it's like, I mean, I know you're not going to help, but I do appreciate you. Like, you can listen to this on Anchor or Spotify or Breaker and a bunch of other things. Check out Jordan's podcast, The Phantom Optimists. They're fantastic.
Yeah, you can find us at Fandom Optimists on Twitter.
Yes, I don't have a specific Twitter for Cape Corner, but I do have my own personal Twitter, which is at Beyond Blue 13. You're Jordan Blueman.
I'm Jordan Blueman. Everywhere there are usernames.
Yeah. Anything else that I normally say? Leave a like, a follow, a comment, all that good stuff. I don't think this is automatically going up on YouTube anymore. I probably have to fix that at some point. It's just my internet sucks. So uploading a YouTube video of even just all, so it's like a all day thing. I'll probably get back to it sometime. But either thank you for listening. You're closing.
Yeah, until next time, check the oil in your car and make sure you unsubscribe from that one mailing list that you keep forgetting to unsubscribe to.
I need to do that. And I want you to be strong, stay true to yourselves, and remember, we can all be heroes.